In other news, while most Israelis were praying or otherwise enjoying the time off, Israeli paramedics and emergency medical services were hard at work, treating over 2,300 people and delivering 2 babies. And with us to tell us all about it is Israeli Director of the Fundraising and International Relations Department with Magen David Adom Emergency Services, Yonatan Yagodovski. Yonatan, thank you so much for being with us today.
My pleasure.
All right, so how many Magen David Adom paramedics and EMTs were active during the holidays?
Well, basically, most of our employees and the vast majority of volunteers were deployed and are still deployed because, as you know, Yom Kippur is not a regular day, and due to the lack of transportation, etc., we are activating an emergency deployment system. And practically almost in every neighborhood and every community in Israel, one of our ambulances or our medicycles is stationed, especially during Yom Kippur, in order to have a quick access to patients if needed. We activate thousands and thousands of highly trained volunteers and, of course, our employees to be able to be on call and to provide immediate medical treatment if needed to any person all over the country.
Wow, and so where in the country were you maybe most active this year?
Well, it really depends. Of course, in the big cities, because there are more kids and they are taking advantage of the empty streets, riding the bicycles and roller skates, etc., and falling down and hurting themselves. This is one kind of or wide range. Of course, people didn't feel well due to the fasting, and that can be anywhere. And also in Israeli Arabs, the Israeli Arab communities and so on, that they partly continue the regular life while, there's still the shutdown, so also it affects them. But unfortunately, we did have a few car accidents, especially in the Israeli Arab sector, with some people that were severely injured. So it's an overall activity. And of course, delivering relatively young women that are expecting to deliver a baby in time to the hospital. And we have transferred more than 1,000 ladies in labor.
So that's actually, I was going to ask you.
The babies didn't wait, so we delivered them en route to the hospital.
Wow. All right. Well, yeah, I wanted to ask, of the 2,360 something patients that received treatment from Magen David Adom over the holiday, how many of those were coronavirus related?
Well, not a lot, because the overall work during the holiday in the hospitals, etc., was kind of low down, etc. We did activate a few drive and test facilities in the Arabic sector in Israel, testing about 1,600 people.
Wow.
For COVID. But there was much less transportation of patients from hospitals to rehabilitation centers, etc., because of the day. We today have much more work because of you can call it less activity over the last day and a half. And for example, only in terms of COVID, our working plan today is to test about 35,000 people for COVID all over the country in more than 70 locations, including home testing and senior citizens' homes, etc.
Yonatan, thank you so much. Bless you for the things that you're doing over the holiday and all that Magen David Adom is doing. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy holidays.
Thank you. All the best.